There's a look to the east along Bloor Street West. Dundas West Station is just off in the distance there. And that's a look to the west. There's what I've called on numerous occasions the ugliest building in the city. And I was planning on starting this video just south of here at Roncesvalles and Dundas. I was sitting on a streetcar that was scheduled to leave a while ago. And I think it's still sitting in Dundas Station, so I thought, to hell with this, let's get out and walk. So what I'll be doing is heading south down to Dundas. Well, this is Dundas, but where Dundas turns east, and this continues south into Roncesvalles Avenue, if that's not confusing enough. And then I'll walk east along Dundas over to Sorauren Avenue. That's a really neat part in the east side of the Roncesvalles neighborhood. So it'll be a bit of a residential walk. That's a pleasant sound. But first I have to go through a couple of busy retail stretches to get there. And there's some old converted warehouses and industrial spaces on Sorauren, and a big park. Did I do my normal intro? Maybe I'm trying to blag. But it's Tuesday, November 4th, 4:46 p.m. is the time. The temperature is about 13 degrees Celsius. That's what happens when you stay inside and don't get any fresh air. I'm really glad I didn't wait for that streetcar. I don't know why I was trying to be lazy when I easily could have just walked a few minutes south. There's some neat artwork here. It came from Roncesvalles. So my plan was to start right in front of this Starbucks. Located in an old bank building. So to the south, this is Roncesvalles Avenue. That's a really neat neighborhood to walk through. But north of this intersection is Dundas Street, and there's the Dundas streetcar I was waiting on. And yes, don't forget to pay your respects and get a poppy. Remembrance Day is coming up, November 11th. see a heritage plaque on this building.
Dundas to Roncesvalles Station.
Sunset is coming up. It is getting dark pretty early these days. If I were to continue walking east on Dundas, that would take me in a little Portugal. And then through the Trinity Bellwoods neighborhood. And then into downtown through Chinatown, past Kensington Market. Retail on one side, some old properties on this side with some retail storefronts in them. This could be considered to be the north end of the Roncesvalles neighborhood, sometimes referred to as Howard Park. Traditionally a bit of a working class neighborhood, but with cost of living and housing prices going the way they've been going, I would say a lot of the area is firmly middle to upper middle class these days. There's a lot of gorgeous residential streets and homes around here. There's a Canco. I don't think I've ever seen another location. And you'll note they sell beer and wine, which I think is the reason this beer store went under. Beer stores have been dropping like flies all over the city. And this one closed. I think there was a maintenance issue with the building. And then I don't think it ever reopened after that. And here's a small microbrewery. They recently added this really nice outdoor-indoor area. I think this opens up in the summer. Been there a few times. It's quite good. They also have a bottle shop if you want to buy their stuff. So between the Canco and the Bandit, you're not entirely SOL. If you want to get some adult beverages in the area. And in that building that says stained glass supply across the street, it's a really neat plant store. I went in there last summer. Sunset at 5:30. We are running out of daylight in a hurry these days. I'm gonna have to start planning some of these walks a little bit earlier. I think there's plans to redevelop this lot into what else but condos. And this is Howard Park. This is where the 506 Carlton streetcar branches off of Dundas here. And it terminates west of here at the High Park Loop. So there's 3 streetcar routes in this area. There's the 504 King that goes north and south up Roncesvalles, the 506 Carlton, Runs along here as well as the 505 Dundas. Commoner. And the street I'm heading to is just up here on the right, just before the rail tracks. This area was largely built up between 1900 and World War I. And a lot of Polish immigrants arrived around that time, heavily influencing the neighborhood's character. And a lot of the homes we're going to walk by are from the early 1900s. Someone's still got their Halloween decorations up. Just look down one of the residential streets. There's never a lot of pedestrian activity whenever I walk through here. It's a neat little shop. Antiques and plants, it looks like. They've got a big monstera in the window. A lot of these are the kind of stores that close at 5 or 6 p.m. or even earlier. There are pots and plants for sale. Please contact. Oh, so it's not quite a traditional retail store, maybe? There's a little parquet.
506, Carlton to Main Street Station.
And this is Sorauren Avenue. Just across the street is Sterling. And there's a Nestle factory. I did a walk through there not too long ago. Look at this place, coffee, wine, beer, and snacks. Tommy's Gifts and Variety. I think they just kept the old sign. You can see the CN Tower way off in the distance. This is a street I have yet to cover on this channel. I think it's got a really interesting character to it. There's a lot of these old homes and very old buildings. This one was originally for the Toronto Laundry Machine Company. It's not a heritage property, I don't think. I didn't find it in the registry. That was built around 1905. There's a newer condo right there, and I think that's a loft conversion just on the other side of it. There's a lot of these beautiful old buildings in this area. Look at this one. Looks like that's another loft conversion. That's Columbus Avenue. And they did a pretty nice job with this new one, kind of matching the existing character of the neighborhood. I think they're doing some water main replacement work on the street. And that's an old candy factory, if I'm not mistaken. The Robert Watson Candy and Confectionery Company. I don't want to hold up a vehicle waiting to turn. Let's cross the street, just because there's all this construction on this side. What a gorgeous building. It would be really nice to live in one of these units. These were converted into lofts, I think, in 2007. That's the name of the old candy company, if I'm not mistaken. An old walk-up apartment building. It's a bit of a shame we've got to contend with this construction equipment. Didn't know this was here. Here's Gallery 345, Academy of Enlightened Minds. So there's an art gallery in there, a Montessori school. Can you see another old industrial building? And I rode my bike down here in the summertime. And that building there was covered in a lot of green vines growing all over it. And this is Sorauren Avenue Park. There's a big off-leash area here. There's tennis courts, as you can see. There's a ball diamond.
We'll look together. More attention to you.
I'm hoping to get a neat view of the CN Tower. It's a neat looking sky in that direction. There's a lot of people with their dogs off leash running around the soccer field, even though there's a designated off leash zone over there. Okay. But back in the early 1900s, there was a lot of manufacturing and milling and just general factory usage in this area. And these streets here go east-west. Well, it looks like there's a pretty nice sunset in that direction. But there's not much in the way of north-south streets connecting them. Otherwise, I would detour along them, but they'll take me all the way over to Roncesvalles Avenue. It's a really old, nice home. That's Wabash Avenue. Really neat, like a scene out of a movie or something. And there's an old converted loft. I think there's a vintage clothing shop. Probably right there where that rack of clothes is. I say that as there's a sign that says MHC Vintage down here on the first floor. I couldn't figure out how old this particular building was. But here's something the city is trying to get back into, having more of these corner stores. I think that one, Wilson's Variety, has been there for quite a while. And some of these homes would look right at home in Cabbagetown. There's a corner variety store. So this goes south down to Queen Street. Look at that neat little cafe and wine bar. And a little two-story walk-up apartment. I can't think of another word for this neighborhood other than charming. There is a supermarket nearby. There's a big No Frills, which I'll be walking by in a little bit. So I don't know if the people here distinguish themselves from the rest of Roncesvalles or not. So I want to keep going straight here, but I see some art on the side of this building just up ahead. I'll go take a peek at that. Wow, that was done in 2015. It looks like it might have been touched up since then. Still quite vibrant. There's a shark. In loving memory. Nice low basketball rim. So the neighborhood just south of here is Parkdale. Oh my, that looks like it's probably a spectacular sunset. I just don't have a clear vantage point. Really interesting mix of housing in this area. Parkdale High Park. Is that how this area would identify? So what I'm going to do is find my way over to Lansdowne. I remember exploring through here a long time ago on my bike, back when I used to ride my single speed everywhere, and I think this building was kind of a washed out orange. Looks like it's had a new coat of paint. What street is this? I think this is Fern. I can't see a street sign. This will lead us out. Is it Fern? I don't know, but this will lead us out to Lansdowne. Oh, look at that moon straight ahead. Big full moon. Tight squeeze here of the street parking. These vehicles going up on the curb. Not sure that was necessary. Oh, this is Rideau Avenue, I think. That's how you pronounce it. This is Lansdowne, a major north-south artery. As I head underneath a rail corridor that ends to the south at Queen Street. wasn't able to get a glimpse of it.
Come.
But just north of here is Dundas Street, and then half a block north of that is College Street. And this would be the west end of the Little Portugal neighborhood. These bike lanes have been here for a while, but I think this divider is fairly new. I think that went up only a few years ago, properly separating cyclists from motorists. It is definitely much darker now. There's a supermarket right here. No Frills, which is part of the Loblaws family. Hey, let's cross, because why not? That's a GO train that time. I think it was a GO train last time as well. But I think that used to be a Nob Hill Farms a long time ago. And originally, there was a building or a company there known as the National Cash Register operated out of there, I think. All right, this is Dundas Street. If Zero Enigma from New York were recording this, you look at that person and say, that's a nice bike you got there. Pushing that thing in the bike lane. I think I see the Lansdowne bus coming up. This is where I would take it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one, walking around the west end of Roncesvalles. I look forward to your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do. There's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below, should you wish to say thanks that way. I gotta clear my throat. See if I remember to edit that out, but I'm gonna catch the bus here. Thank you so much for watching. Yoink.